Four, three, two, one, zero. Ignition. And this is...
It most certainly is. UniversalExports.co, where you get education, entertainment, enlightenment like nowhere else on the internet. In today's Book of Mysteries, we uncover Australia's deadliest creature. We look at the Mars dust storm. We find out about Peru and what it's like to be in Machu Picchu. We also visit the Darrenberg Winery and The Cube, and finish off with a singing car park.
Space Talk, Space Talk, Space Talk.
If you're an observer of the night sky, you will have noticed that Mars, the red planet, is now Mars, the very red planet. Very red planet because there's a major dust storm on Mars which has now gone global. It may look spectacular to the eye, but it has some unfortunate problems for some of the remote-controlled spacecraft that are there. For instance, it's not a good situation for Opportunity, which relies entirely on its solar panels for power. The storm has blasted very fine dust high into the Martian atmosphere, where it has cut off so much of the available light, and there's not much there to start off with, to such a level that the panels can't charge the rover's battery. This means that Opportunity can't move, power its primary system, send signals to Earth, or run heaters needed to keep its electronics from freezing and permanently disabling it. That the one bright spot is that dust is acting as an insulator, so the ambient temperature might not fall below the Opportunity's design levels. Unfortunately, the darkness has been so deep and so prolonged that the rover can't even run its mission clock and must await the storm's end before it can be charged enough to recontact Earth, because such charging would take weeks or even months after the dust settles. Worse, the dust might come to rest on the panel. This isn't a terminal problem because the dust is so fine, and experience has shown that a slight gust will blow it back off. But it is another delaying factor. And now it's quiz time. And that was supposed to have been a clue for you. However, it sounded more to me like trying to make close encounter contacts with aliens. The question is, what is Australia's deadliest creature? Spider, snake, shark? Not at all. The most dangerous Australian animal is the horse. According to the National Coroner's Information Systems, between 2000 and 2006, there were 128 animal-related deaths in Australia, and horses were responsible for 36 of them. Many resulted from someone colliding with a horse while driving or falling off one while riding. A quarter of all animal-related deaths in Australia take place on the road. The second most deadly Australian animal in the period was the cow, with 20 deaths, followed by the dog with 12. Sharks killed 11 people, snakes killed 8, crocodiles or alligators 4, spiders only 3. One person met their doom at the hands of a cat. Pause, really, I suppose. Cenosilicaphobic. 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 That's a word you won't easily forget now. It goes along with this sound too. Well, may you ask, what are they? And the answer to that can be found at the Darrenberg Winery in McLaren Vale, South Australia. The first is the name of a person who has a fear of having an empty glass, particularly a wine glass. And the second is musical noises derived from a weather station where the weather is converted into electrical impulses, then converted into music, such as it may be. These both give a bit of an insight into what to expect or not expect when you go into the Darrenberg Cube, a building formed on the idea of a Rubik's Cube. It houses the tasting rooms on the top floor. There is a magnificent restaurant. There's a kitchen to die for, which is featured on some television programs in recent times. And also downstairs is the Alternate Realities Museum, an experience not to be missed. All sorts of experiences can be gained at the Darrenberg Winery besides tasting their wines. You can even fly in a Waco plane over the whole of the McLaren Vale district to get a different point of view of what the wineries are all like. Whatever you do, I highly recommend going to Darrenberg Winery to visit this cube and to have a look at the artwork in the ground. It is just a magnificent place to be. All up, $10, including a guided tour through the Alternate Realities Museum, as well as a tasting. If you're a member of the Cenosilicaphobic Club, entry is of course free. Now, you would be forgiven if you were thinking you were walking back into the Darrenberg Winery again with that electronic music made from the weather station. It's in fact different, but the same. That's the singing car park in Springvale. It happens when the wind gets up, as it did on this particular day, and it just whistles and sings through the building structure itself, causing vibrations and doing everything that the engineers and technicians wanted to do at Darrenberg Winery, but just doing it by nature, proving once again that this is the most fascinating radio station to listen to. Thanks for stopping by, and now you're armed and ready for your next dinner party or barbecue. Thanks for aiding in today's production goes to Facio Santidian, Cenosilicaphobics Worldwide, New Atlas Journal, and Springvale Car Park. See you next time.